Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is my first voiceover video and also my first scripted video because I watch people like Strobe to do content like this and it seems pretty cool to me. So if you like this type of content or have ideas for more things you'd like me to talk about in videos like this, then go ahead and let me know in the comments because I'm not sure how much content I'm going to be able to squeeze out of regular Bedwars. Also, I'm sorry if there's still some stuttering. The whole point of me making scripted videos is so I don't stutter. But reading and saying things out loud, I haven't done it since I was in like year 6 and we had to do that all the time. So yeah, I'm sorry for that. Also, before the video starts, a few things. I'd like to apologise for my lousy PvP in the first game. It gets significantly better in the second game, and it's pretty much just because I've been playing a lot of 1.16 recently. If you're on my channel, you'd know that. So just getting used to the old 1.8.9 PvP style again. Secondly, only 15% of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed, which is quite low. I know most people's are low, and they always say a small percentage of people are subscribed, but still, that's still low. So if you feel like helping me out, then feel free to subscribe. You can always just ignore or turn off the notifications, then it helps my channel grow. Third, a small disclaimer, this is not hating on Bedwars in any way or Hypixel. This video is constructive criticism because I want to enjoy Bedwars, but I don't right now, and this is why I'm making this video in the first place. With all that said, enjoy the video. Okay, so first off, it's the same thing every single game. Bedwars is an incredibly repetitive game, which is quite good for new players because once they build up a sense of what to do and what not to do, this is referred to as game sense, they don't need to think or try as hard to win, and this can lead to a far more enjoyable experience for the new players. However, for more seasoned players such as myself, and even people who are far more experienced than me, this repetitive game style can get incredibly boring very quickly, leading me to the point that I am right now where I barely ever really want to play Bedwars anymore unless I'm recording and I have a killer idea. Because wins are just not satisfying anymore. That's not flex, I'm not even that good. It's just wins aren't satisfying because it's the same thing to win every single game. Just break all the beds, get invisible on the last rush and just kill them. It's the same thing even if you lose your bed. For anyone wondering, it doesn't matter what map you're on, the strategy is the exact same like I just said for every single game. You get enough iron for blocks. On a fast iron map you would wait for blocks and tools. You build near the enemy's base. Once you get near the enemy's base you build up and then you drop onto them and try and knock them into the void and break their bed as they fall. If you can't do this, then you just kill them after they respawn. And you do this for the exact same for every single rush in the game. No reasonable bed defense cannot be broken within the 5-second respawn timer after you die. So if you die at your base whatsoever, 9 times out of 10 you're going to lose your bed. In modes like 3s and 4s, there are also strategies such as IYN that are incredibly repetitive and can go boring extremely quickly. I played about 3 games using the IYN strat and I was already bored of it and I wanted to try something new. The addition of the Dreams mode in mid-2018 with a weekly rotation system does provide a breath of fresh air. Even today, when they rotate every week, I'm like, hey, it's a new game mode to play. But not for solo players such as me, when I want to play solo, who don't want to spend ages looking for a teammate, because no one actually wants to play Dreams mode with a random party. They'd just rather have a sweat party for that they already have a winning strategy for. For Bedwars is a complete joke, because if you can PvP whatsoever, then you will very, very rarely lose, unless you encounter a sweat party, which are few and far between. This is because no one really plays 4v4s, because if you want to play 4v4, you just play 4v4 with IYN strat, or solo and doubles, so 4v4 is kind of what the community would want out of a 1v1 game mode, but 4v4 instead of 1v1. There needs to be a little bit more diversity between Bedwars games, or players like myself will just stop playing. Okay, my next point is lag, and lag is quite broad across the entire network, but it still negatively affects Bedwars a lot. It's one of the gamers that's most negatively affected, so I'm only going to talk about the effects of lag on Bedwars specifically. I could make a video on lag overall if people want that, but it's like quite clear just by playing Hypixel what I mean by lag. It's the ping/connection lag, not FPS lag. I'm probably also going to make a video on separate FPS lag at some point, but that's not this video. The number of times that people can straight up hit you directly through a block or way over the 3-block distance where hits are possible are incredibly common. One of the reasons that my best win streak is like a 5, which is I know is terrible, is because I suck at Bedwars, which is a thing, but a very close second is lag. People are always getting memed on for blaming lag for the reason of them losing the fight. It's in Hypixel stereotypes videos and everything, but I believe them most of the time because honestly it happens to me so many times that I genuinely just believe them at this point. The main issue is Hypixel letting over 100,000 people to be on their server at one time, when Simon himself tweeted on Twitter saying that their servers cannot handle 100,000 players. They may have improved it by now, but based on the lag that everyone experiences in day-to-day Hypixel, I highly doubt that they have actually fixed this issue. It's practically impossible to go a game without dying to lag or lag back. Lag backing is when you go somewhere, let's say jumping off a bridge to an island, and a player can literally just place 2 blocks where you're going to land, and as you land on those blocks, you will just lag back onto the bridge, and because you are moving forward to try and attack them, you will very commonly end up just walking into the void, which can be incredibly frustrating. It hasn't actually personally happened to me, lag has, but lag back personally hasn't happened to me. But I can see, if you watch Samuel Green's videos at all, you'll know this issue, and it just looks annoying, and I would not want it to happen to me, because that would be really annoying. I am from the UK, my ping is not the best, I get about 90 to 100, but sometimes it just spikes to 500 ms for like 5 minutes at a time, and I cannot interact with the server during that time, even if I reload Minecraft, even if I restart my computer. I've even tried restarting the router and it still didn't work. So this is just a big issue, and it gets really annoying for the whole server, let alone just Bedwars, which already decreases a game that can be boring already, gives a further incentive not to play it because of lag. Now, the balancing of items, this is my third point. Certain items are way too overpowered or way too underpowered. I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever unironically, which means seriously, like have you actually bought a bedbug, a brig jeg, a diamond sword, or dragon buff as attempting to win the game, not as a meme? Probably not. You haven't, most likely, because all these items, I just have better versions of them, often for cheaper or just the equivalent price. Instead of a bedbug, which is 40 iron, you can buy a far more useful and versatile fireball for that 40 iron. Jump boost or an ender pearl are basically the same thing as a bridge egg, except an ender pearl is better, and a jump potion is admittedly slightly less versatile, but the pearl is way more versatile. Iron swords only have 1 attack damage less than diamond swords, which is incredibly hard to notice if you're actually a good player and you get combos with people. And no one will ever get to dragons unless they're trying to, because of the existence of trackers, so you can actually know where people are if they're camping, because it points right to them. Have you ever lost a game to someone who's invisible? If you look hard enough, you can just see footprints and little particles that clearly show you when someone is invis. This makes the potion next to useless for what it's imposed for, sneaking past players, particularly high skill players that you can't manage to kill. And for those saying it'd be too overpowered if it didn't have that method of seeing them, it really wouldn't, because no one cannot get 2 emeralds from middle, which will get you a tracker, which will point to your opponent permanently until you die, which doesn't really matter because most of the time you get a tracker is because you're bedless and trying to clutch a game and you can't die then, so that point doesn't really matter. You can just fireball in the general direction that the tracker says that they are when they're near you, less than like 10 meters or so, which will expose their invis, because if you do take damage whilst you're invisible, you lose the invis, which is honestly fair. Like, I'm not against that, because if you didn't, it would be so incredibly overpowered and frustrating, and it would make the game bad. So props to Hypixel for making you lose invis when you'll get hit. Another powered of an overpowered item is the Dream Defender. Now, not one of them on their own. One of them on their own can be easily defeated by 1 block of low ground just hitting them. That one guy on that fast iron map, normally Acropolis, who gets like 10 Dream Defenders, camps in their base, and you are unable to fight 10 Dream Defenders and a player off no matter how bad they are, and you can end up losing a game. This is also relatively common on all fast iron maps, except for Zazzle, because Zazzle's like a semi-sway map. Orbit, Siege, Acropolis, all of these maps are big. They encourage camping because they're so big and you can access damage gens really easily and emerald gens really easily. Therefore, iron golems, losing games, not good. Makes me sad and annoyed, and makes everyone sad and annoyed. And it can really drive people off playing the game when they encounter a camper, especially if the camper ends up winning, because they can just get fireballs and stuff. Now, for the last segment, the 4th segment, I'm going to see some ways that Hypixel can save Bedwars. This is titled in my script, Can Hypixel Save Bedwars? Hypixel can absolutely save Bedwars if they just gave it as much attention as Skyblock, because it is their most played PvP mode and their second most played overall mode after Skyblock most of the time. But Skyblock brings in more money because I don't know exactly how Skyblock works, but I know there's a lot of things that you can buy with money that people do buy with money. I mean, there's literally a whole tab on the Hypixel store called Skyblock Gems, so I can imagine that it makes them a lot of money, and I have done research and I know it does give them quite a lot of money. So they pretty much just spend all that money updating Skyblock because that's where they get the money from. They didn't even remove a sentence on the Duels info board for every new player to see about a game mode that was removed 2 years ago when an admin messed it up and decided not to fix it. Thanks to Strobed for that information. I checked it myself. This is still the case today on the 2nd of January. Obviously, this isn't getting posted on the 2nd of January, probably the 3rd if I had to guess. But it's still the case when I'm recording this. Some of my suggestions for fixing Bedwars, after 10 minutes of brainstorming, how it could be fun for me personally. This is my personal reasons, by the way. You can disagree with these, although I don't think you can disagree with the first one, to be honest. Which the first one is to update the game more. It needs a breath of fresh air. It's been almost the exact same game for 2 years. There's been price tweaks, little GUI tweaks, more maps, but most of them are bad. And they've removed good ones like, what was that one called again? Pernicious and Amazon. Those were both very good maps, and they're gone. I get they can't add stuff like netherite armor because not everyone plays on 1.16 and almost no one actually likes the new PvP system, which was added to Minecraft at that point. But maybe you could add some new good maps. New actually good maps can be interesting for up to a month before it gets boring again. Orbit and Siege's designs, as an example, are really cool. And if you just squeeze them a little bit closer and made the iron normal speed, they would be some of my personal favorite maps because the design looks so nice and there'd be such good rushes. The second point, this could be seen as quite controversial, but a diamond upgrade called 3-second respawn timer. The cost would be about 2 to 3 diamonds, and it would increase for every one you queue. You can queue up to 3, a little bit like a trap. It gets used every time you die, no matter if it's to a player or if you just fall in the void by accident or if you void. If you've purchased it, you will get a 3-second respawn time. If you have 1 queued, you can die again. If you have 2 queued, etc., just like a trap, you can figure that out for yourself. Because I've mentioned, if you die at your base, you are guaranteed to lose your bed at your base unless you have like a massive defense, and even then they can just block into the defense. So yeah, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose your bed if someone kills you at your base. I hope you're seeing how these issues mix now. This can be extremely aggravating to the affected player by this. This could replace Dragon Buff, as Dragon Buff is incredibly useless right now. No one uses Dragon Buff, unironically. Seriously, name one person who actually has done that before. Now the third one probably will be a bit more agreed. A new game mode for all modes, like dream modes, but it would cover solos and threes. I mean, no one really likes threes, but solo, we need solo dreams mode. Would make the game a lot more interesting for a very long period of time, because an entirely new game mode, entirely new challenges for said game mode, entirely new set of rules for game mode, entirely new ideas for game mode. It would last a very long time, and it could even bring back some players who quit because of the boringness of the repetitive games. This could encourage more people to grind that new game mode, lead to a more positive Hypixel experience, because as KBVer said in one of his videos, not everyone really wants to play Skyblock, particularly the PvP community, who does want to play some PvP games. This is about all I have to say for this video, so if you think I missed something big, let me know in the comments. This is my first scripted video, so I might have missed something because I was more focused on making it concise and make sense rather than my normal stuttering. This is why I made a script for this video. I'm not really used to this video style, but I enjoyed making it, so if you enjoyed it, leave a like, give my other videos a chance. If you like them too, consider subscribing. Let me know if you like this content more, or if you like my old content where I'm in the normal Bedwars games. Well, bear in mind, I can't really make much more videos on those because I don't know what to do for them. And I would also like to reiterate that this was not a hate video. This was constructive criticism. It might have sounded like a hate video, and that's why I want to reiterate it in the outro. Constructive criticism, not hate. I like Bedwars, it could just be better. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.